In order to calculate the number of calories in a food sample, we conducted an experiment where we found out how much energy is in a food sample. By burning a food sample with a flame and the heat given off heating up the water in a can above, we could calculate the number of calories in a food sample. The experiment allowed us to single out which foods are highest in calories and would be most beneficial to include in our energy bar.
The goal for the experiment was to determine the amount of energy burned off by the food sample. To calculate the energy of the food burned, we used the following equation. Q in the equation stands for the energy measured in joules. M in the equation stands for mass measured in kilograms. S in the equation stands for specific heat measured in Celsius, and the change in temperature is also measured in Celsius.
Earlier this week, we did an experiment with calorimetry. This helps us to understand how there's energy inside of food. We started out with the different ingredients that we could have put into our power bar, and we took them and we put them elevated up under a Coke can filled with water. We would burn our item of food, which my group chose marshmallow, and we were constantly monitoring the temperature of the water, and the amount increased was we could determine was the amount of energy given off by our specific food. Our results were not exactly the most precise because some of the energy was given directly from the lighter, but from what we learned from our marshmallow compared to some of the other things like the nuts or things like that other groups burned, was that the marshmallow burned up really fast, which means that it did not have as much energy in it as some of the other, didn't have as many calories to burn up as like nuts or fruit or some of the other things. So this helped us understand calories more and helped us be able to more choose what we would put in our bar. So aside from the granola, which we were putting in our bar, our one nut is going to be pecan, because out of all of the nuts that we looked at, it had the highest number of calories. Our fruit is going to be raisins, because raisins fit well and are small and good inside of power bars. And our sweet is going to be chocolate, because chocolate has a high number of calories. All these things combined help us reach our minimum calorie number for the power bar.
Some other substances that would be grand to put in our bar would be peanut butter, because it has lots of good protein and calories. It isn't listed there, but it would be a good choice. Different types of nuts could be switched with pecans, which we used in our bar. And you could switch them with walnuts or other types of nuts. Different types of dried fruits could be added as well, such as dried apricots, dried oranges, or even dried cherries if you wanted to go crazy. All of these ingredients weren't listed in the list that we were supposed to use, but they were all good substitutes that could be included. We used 4 different websites that we can get information from. The first was for granola. The second was for chocolate information. The third was for raisins. And the fourth was for pecans.